Hello, this is the One Episode Rule, a podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie, and this time it's just the two of us.
Yup. Quiet. It's just gonna be a nice, quiet, and relaxing evening.
We can make it if we try.
uh, Hello. I'm Joey. Haven't been doing a whole hell of a lot this week, but
You and
sometimes.
I. Anyway,
All right. Are
go
you
on.
quite done now?
Yeah,
No, I don't have anything else to say. Hi. welcome to
I
welcome to this shit.
I have been meaning to get back on my bullshit
I
in
know.
several respects, but the world just isn't cooperating.
Yeah. No,
Um,
pretty much same.
some insight into my life for listeners who may not be aware. Immediately outside of my room is a chicken coop. It's
Mm.
about 10 feet away from the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and they just keep waking me up doing the weirdest shit at like 5:30 in the morning.
No. Why are they doing that?
I don't know
Stop.
if it's them or if there's like an enterprising, like local
Like a
marsupial
creature?
trying to knock over their feed. But yeah,
Perhaps.
just clunking noises and stuff. And
Oh,
recently,
man.
like the neighbors like moved a trailer like technically on their property, like but like behind my house in like a way that
Mm,
feels kind of inappropriate. So that feels weird. So it's just like, is
okay.
that noise coming from there? It's a whole mess. But yeah, suffice to say, I haven't gotten back to Dan to Dan. I haven't watched any of the old stuff I was interested in either.
Yeah, kind of pretty much same story. Just busy as hell.
What a mess.
What a mess. But we're here tonight on this glorious podcast for
Um,
some content.
do you guys want some news? Uh,
Looks around at the empty room.
you guys,
Nods.
the
Use guys, they
use
them.
guys.
They them plural. Not
I've
really.
pluralized you.
Oh
Um,
boy.
so, uh, so we're doing a little citizen reporting here, aided by a an article I found, which is, hey, did you what the fuck y'all know about My Hero Academia? Did you know that shit
Uh
is over?
I did hear something about it being over
Um,
soon.
did you know that the My Hero guy wants to and has released an epilogue though?
Oh, interesting.
Expanding on some final chapters of expanding on the final chapter of the series,
Yeah.
um, and tying up some romantic loose ends, which has
Oh,
led to some interesting takes on Twitter.
all
The
right.
more valid of which being about what's her name, Float Girl, uh, the Sakura of
Oh,
the series.
oh,
Uh,
Ocha. It's something with an O, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, her and her toxic Yuri dead girlfriend. Um, being
Oh
like,
yeah?
hey, why did you kind of undercut that by just sort of throwing her at the protagonist in this episode, in this epilogue? And the
Huh.
second one was a bunch of people very upset that there was no relationship between the protagonist and his fiery rival
Ah, the
slash best
Bakugo.
friend, Bakugo. Um, to which I will repeat the oft repeated quote from Twitter, which is, "If you got baited by a shonen anime, that's worse than losing chess to a dog." What I how did you even
Yeah,
convince yourself to expect this? So yeah, those people are going to be pissed.
alas.
Maybe that some of those people are listening and will be pissed at us, but we'll see.
Hi, welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to our podcast.
Please,
Enjoy the hate engagement.
please listen to us. Please leave angry comments.
um,
Please, we're starving.
Speaking of tragedies, Attack on Titan is going to be rebroadcast in Japanese theaters.
Oh
Um,
my.
Attack on Titan: The Last Attack, which I believe is a compilation film of some of the final chapters stuff,
The
um,
last attack.
did air back in on November 8th. And apparently they are going to roll it out to theaters again with these special crying screenings where you are allowed to cry. And it is in fact encouraged. I thought crying was the natural response to being forced to consume Attack on Titan
Yeah, crying, but for different
as
reasons
the
than the ones.
default. Um, so I did have to cover this story just based on the ridiculousness of it.
Uh-huh.
Um, and finally, we have a more exciting announcement, which is Studio
Yes.
Kara and Sunrise have announced a TV anime. Studio Kara being the studio that split off from Gainax to create the rebuild of Evangelion movies. So
Mm-hmm.
they've got a pretty good pedigree. They are partnering with Sunrise to produce Mobile Suit Gundam G.
Oh, I was waiting for this pronunciation. Yeah, it's Q and then followed by like 5 or 6 U's and then it's like X.
Capital G, capital Q, 6 lowercase u's, X. Hideaki Anno is
Who's?
writing the script.
Yeah, we should have guessed, huh?
I'll watch that shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Already, I'm on board.
I'm here for it.
It's like
I
whenever
gotta
you
get
see
back to
Hideo Kojima just release a trailer
this
for
one.
something absurd, and you're just like, yeah, fine, whatever, I'll watch.
Uh-huh.
So, Jojo told me to unleash something evil for the pick.
I am
Whenever I
kneeling
asked
down.
Jojo,
I am pointing the gun directly at myself.
now I
It
did.
is fully loaded.
Now I didn't want to. I didn't want to use one from the gun actually because that's for multiple people.
No, no, it's not the gun. What you
Um,
have is a sort of a shotgun situation.
Shotgun, little metal slug joke.
It's designed to disintegrate me
Anyway,
upon impact.
we're gonna hit something I've been meaning to look at for a minute that might be a little smelly.
Mhm.
Viral hit.
It's called Viral Hit?
It's called viral hit.
Oh yeah, with a name like that. Ooh. All
So
right.
yeah,
Let's
let's
hit
get
this viral.
slapped.
Let's it's no. Okay. Bye.
Man, there's just certain shows that really get me. They just like really get me, and I have to power through just to get to this portion because there's nothing necessarily like bad about it, but it's just it hits the fucking cringe nerve, and I have to be like, Doctor, turn off my cringe inhibitors.
Yeah,
Um,
you gotta keep going. Be
um,
strong.
turn them up, turn them up. Oh God, something about like bullying on like film and like just like
Uh-huh.
people who don't fighting
Uh-huh.
in like the
Yeah.
like realistic like nasty ways, just like slobber and snot flying.
Yeah.
These are some nasty boys.
These are some nasty
I'm,
boys.
I'm
Oh,
excited to get your take on it, but can
yes.
we read this
Let's
blurb? I'm gonna
yeah,
post it.
I got you. Ahem. The bullies at Yu Hobin's school are no ordinary troublemakers. They are NewTubers, budding internet celebrities who force Hobin to partake in humiliating videos and host live streams in his house. Hobin only manages to stay strong by reminding himself that he needs to work hard to support his hospitalized mother. However, during his classmate Wooji
Geo, I think.
Woojiok's live stream, Hobin completely snaps after a humiliating incident. As a result, these two men engage in a grotesque fistfight that lasts until dawn. The following day, Hobin discovers that the live stream of his fight went viral on YouTube, turning him into a celebrity overnight. After he realizes that making viral videos is a very lucrative endeavor, Hobin agrees to team up with Geok to create a channel that features his martial prowess. However, Hobin needs to become a seasoned fighter and keep his distance from those who seek to use him for his newfound fame, unless he wants a lack of views to become the least of his problems. Thankfully for him, the unexpected discovery of a series of obscure self-learning videos might be just what he needs to survive in the content creation industry.
That
I
last
didn't.
sentence just fired a neuron that's been dormant for years. I need you guys to understand that I sussed out like who he's going to learn martial arts from, and it looks like
Oh.
a series of videos by a foreigner wearing a chicken mask. And it lit up the fact that whenever I played Absolver, I exclusively wore the chicken head
Oh, whoa.
to psychologically damage my opponents.
That's really good. I didn't even register this, but are these Korean names? Is this a Korean show?
These seem to be Korean names. It's funny. I actually have heard a lot of Korean names recently because just to pin this down in time, South Korea had like a mini coup for
Mhm.
like a day.
Oh, yeah! I just heard about that.
Yeah. The president tried to declare a state of martial law, and the
Yeah,
whole
and then
government
the
was like, "No,
government was like, "Nuh-uh."
no, we're gonna go in here and vote about it to make you stop."
And yeah, what the
Crazy
hell?
shit. I
Weird.
saw I saw a soldier try and take some guy's phone and literally get judo thrown back in the direction he came from. This is what happens when you like conscript your entire populace, is
Uh,
you've taught them all
I was like,
close
"Oops.
combat.
Oops, all soldiers.
Whoops.
Oopsie doopsie."
He didn't even hurt him. He just
Yeah.
smoothly redirected him back the way he came. And the guy was just like, "What?"
Uh, he got scared.
So
Um
we should talk about these
we
horrible
should talk
boys.
about this show. So yeah, the summary really did like lay down the basics.
Hmm.
Um there's definitely some like moments to really get
Patco
into.
Patco looks like a 29-year-old man. Um,
Why all of these everyone in this like show, almost everyone in this show so far has been at least a little shitty.
they're all terrible, which is a good start, I think. They're all smelly. Well, we're going to talk about how like whether or not we like the vibe at the end of this, I guess. But
Yes.
um, so yeah, we open on Patco, and Patco has a 700,000 subscriber YouTube channel, and he is okay. So this is something I did want to get into. Is he sort of displays what I feel to be like a Japanese and maybe Korean attitude about YouTubers, which
Hmm.
is a little different than the American attitude about YouTubers because you don't see YouTubers doing these sorts of things in America that much. Uh, I don't
Hmm.
know if it's
I
because
mean, anymore maybe.
if we're spread out or something like that, or people just have better sense. But
Yeah, I'm not sure.
every Japanese portrayal of YouTubers I have ever seen has been overwhelmingly negative. They think they are scum. And I kind of get it because they come from like like a sort of traditionally collectivist society. So sticking out like that, sticking out in an obnoxious way, like making your money by being like purposefully obnoxious, being the nail that sticks up out of the floor, would be kind of repugnant to Japanese people, wouldn't it?
I mean, to be fair, America has plenty of examples of streamers that are widely reviled in a similar way, I
They
think.
they are reviled, but they usually aren't people who go out in public and make a nuisance of
Uh,
themselves.
Again, that used to be a trend. I feel like it's died
Yeah, but it has
recently.
it hasn't in East Asia. Like recently, Johnny Somali went over to Korea and he tried to annoy people like he had in Japan, and somebody fucking decked him, which I think is hilarious. Also, they
Fantastic.
interviewed the guy who decked him, who had recently come out of the South Korean military,
Uh-huh.
and they threw him in jail because he punched a guy on the street. And then when they talked to him, he's just like, "I regret nothing. I had to act for my people." He was, you're desecrating. What the fuck are you doing? You're
You're
desecrating a
desecrating a
war
war
memorial.
memorial. Yeah.
Um, so yeah. But more pertinent to the story is Patco looks like a 35-year-old man, and he has a camera on a selfie stick, and he is making an annoying video in class. Um,
He's like hoarding the whole classroom to himself.
yeah,
Like people
not
are in the hallways, like looking in, trying to figure out what's going on in
they've
there.
turned it into like a closed set, even though it's like in between classes for like homeroom, so everybody should be lounging around.
Yeah.
Um, he is there with a girl, with an admittedly pretty girl who has a smaller channel and they're doing a little collab, and she's a makeup YouTuber, right? She's a makeup tips YouTuber, and it's just like, yeah, we're gonna do a video. We're gonna show you a model that I brought with me, and then we get introduced to our main character, because these two have press ganged Hoban into having his face painted up with like horror makeup.
Yeah. Oh my god, he looks like a clown. Like
He's
it's
a little clown
extreme.
adjacent. I believe they were going for geisha, like
Yeah,
exaggerated
with the
traditional geisha.
with the tiny little heart lips sort of look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's miserable.
He
Um,
hates it.
he fucking hates it. And he's just like, God, I can't do anything about this. These people have so much more social capital than me. Paco is a fucking giant.
I will die.
I will die. And then what did he call him? Because he didn't call him his name. This kid's name is Wu, and that's going to be important later. But he has a nickname. It's like Scabber or something like that.
Yeah, something I don't remember. I
We'll,
was
we'll
watching
call him
the
Wu.
dub. I don't know what you watched. The sub
I
or
watched
the
the
dub?
sub.
Oh, okay.
Um, but yeah, and he's just like, yeah, he's got his cameraman here too, and he's got all of his cronies, and just like, oh, what a bunch of shit. Um, and they wrap up the shot, and he leaves. He goes to sulk in the bathroom while they're just like, oh, I already made like 30,000 yen on this lunch break. It's like shit. Uh, and he's trying to scrub this makeup off, and it's not coming off properly because, well, he doesn't have any cleanser that you
Yeah,
need
like
for that sort of shit.
makeup
He's just
remover.
trying to
He's
scrub it
just
off
trying
of
to
his
wash it
face with
off with
water.
water. It's
He does
just like
eventually
running.
succeed, but he does look like the Joka baby for a
He
second.
does. But
Um,
we get a moment where he's like, "Oh, they make as much in a like a day as I make in a week at my shitty burger job."
you've got a new NewTube subscriber, Batman. What if I doxed you, Batman?
Oh man,
That's kind of the energy,
it's
honestly.
kind of the energy.
Because yeah, he's a pushover because he's just a teenage boy of average size and
He's got
athleticism.
like the little bowl cut. He looks a
He's got a
little
little.
like
He looks.
mashal adjacent.
He's a little like shitty mob,
Yeah, shitty mob. I also thought shitty mob.
like mob that's not quite as nice because he's had it beaten out of him. But yeah, he scrubs this shit off of his face and he goes back to the classroom, and some girl, and they're still talking. Paco is talking to the girl, and he's talking like, and she's saying, just like, wow, just like how did you get so many subscribers so fast? I got like an extra 200 from this, and he's just like, well, yeah, let me tell you about the business. Uh, and while they're doing that, Wu, the cameraman, fucking attacks him. Um, because he's just like, you were supposed to smile. I bet you did it on fucking purpose. We were live, and he's just kicking the shit out of him on the ground.
Just constantly.
And Hoban is there, and he's just like, I can't believe it. This is just happening again. He's like, yeah, this is the cam. This is Wu, the cameraman. It's just like he sets everything up for Paco, but in a fight, because he's taking these kicks, and then finally he flinches at him. He like glares up at him, and Wu backs off a little because he's a little bit of a coward.
Yeah, he sucks so bad.
He's a piece of shit,
He's a piece of
but he's a
shit.
piece of shit in a way that moves the story, and I kind of
Yeah.
appreciate. He's from Kaiji. He's gonna grow up to be in Kaiji,
Yeah, wait, that's so true, actually.
um, yeah, he backs off a few steps because honestly, he gets scared. And then he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'll do what I always do." And he's just like, "Hey Paco, did you see that look he gave me?" And Wu is just on the ground. He's just like, "Shit!" It's just like this is what he does. He's like a fucking parasite on the side of a
He
shark.
literally is.
Like
Little
he
scum
stays up
boy.
he stays up in the pecking order because he works for Paco and he leeches off his authority.
Hmm.
Um, and they're sitting there for a minute while the others talk, and while he's talking to the girl, it's just like, I should, like, you can make so much money. I should start a YouTube channel. The both of them have this thought.
Mm-hmm.
And Wu says it. He says, how can I start a channel like that? He's just like, well,
You're a
minors
minor.
minors can't get paydays, so you'll probably need your parents' bank account and a bank box. He's just like, oh man, I used some of my mom's savings, and she found out, and I can't touch it. Like I can't touch it at all. And he's just like, oh man, what a bunch of shit. And Hoban's about to go home, and then he turns to him, and he's just like, hey, you know what I should do? It's just like, your mom's almost dead, right?
He
How about I
sucks
use
so
yours?
bad.
And Hoban almost loses it. He almost decks him right there.
He's like,
And
I
I
should have punched him. I should have punched him.
and he regrets that he doesn't,
Uh-huh.
because he's afraid Paco will step in. Um, to tell you the truth, I couldn't stop myself. I would harm him to a permanent end. Um,
Yes. You know what's really funny about this scene is Paco's just kind of like, you know what? That actually kind of wasn't cool, man.
yeah, Paco is just like, actually, that's kind of an asshole thing. You should like apologize.
He's like, sorry, I was
He's
too
not.
far.
He's not
He's not
really,
really sorry. He's
but
just, saying it, but it was funny.
he's just calling it out for being especially cruel. Um, and yeah. Hoban leaves. Hoban eventually just leaves because he has to get out of this situation. Um, and he goes to work.
Does he go to
Uh,
work or does he go visit his mom? I don't
oh yeah,
remember.
he goes and visits his mom because yeah, there's an interstitial scene because he does go and visit his mom, and his mom has anime mom disease,
Yeah,
but it doesn't
she's
seem to be terminal because her hair isn't in a braid. Um,
yeah. She might make it.
no, she's in the hospital. It's bad. She looks wan, basically, as sick as an anime character usually looks.
Yeah.
And he's talking to her, and she's just like, I can leave anytime. I can get out of here anytime. And he's just like, don't lie to me.
Mm.
Like, if you leave, you'll get worse immediately. And she's just like, well, what happened to you? Did you get in a fight? And he's just like, of course not. Of course not. I wouldn't do that kind of thing. And she's just like,
He's
but
like,
I'm a liar too.
damn, I'm lying to my mom. Ah, shit.
And the next time we see him is maybe the next day. He's at work because he has to pay 30,000 yen, like the
Yeah,
same amount they made at lunch for hospital bills. And he's holding up this household on his own, basically.
yeah.
He
It's
pays
it's
the
low key
electric
like
bill.
kind of sad.
It's miserable.
It's it's like, aw.
He's flipping burgers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's thinking about how horrible his life is, basically. But
Yeah.
he has one bright spot because the girl he works with, Bummy, is very attractive and he likes her a lot.
He's like, oh, she's so pretty.
She's my work idol.
She asked me where the burgers were.
She asked me
Smiley
where the
face.
burger patties were, and he says, "Oh yeah, you got to go in there and go to the right at the back." He's just like, "Wow, I talked to her." And while he's basking in that, there's a commotion up front at the Whack Donald's.
Well, yeah. Anime McDonald number 5.
How many anime Whack McDonald's and Denny's are there?
Good question.
Mhm.
Uncountable.
But yeah, there's a commotion because who the fuck is here? It's Paco with his fucking selfie
With
stick
his stupid stick.
filming a stupid video. He's gonna be a huge pain in the ass.
It's like,
And
don't
he's just like,
harass our service workers, sir.
Paco here with his 700,000 subscribers, and I came here to see the beauty that's a social media sensation, and it's Bommy because she's running the register, and she's just
Hmm.
like, oh, and
Hi.
he's just like, actually, I have a little challenge for you, and it's just like, I didn't want to do this, but my subscribers demanded it.
Oh,
Um, it's just
it's all a
like
bunch of bullshit.
the challenge is you got to make me this burger in 30 seconds, and it's like a quadruple decker club burger with a little
Yeah, with like
flag
3
with
types
10
of sauces or
ingredients.
something.
um and it's just like, if you could make this in 30, you got to make this in 30 seconds or you have to give me your number. And he's just like, like, listen, if I get your number, I'll just get you a coffee or something later. And Hoban's in the back is just like, this motherfucker.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You do not come to my house and do this to me. It's just like he's just trying to get her number. He's just trying to get her number. And while he's hamming it up, like doing the preamble, and the other two guys are even just like, oh
Oh
shit,
man.
Paco's here. What are we gonna do about this?
Oh, this sucks, dude.
And while they're having this conversation, you just see a shadow come from the side and deliver the burger. And he's
The
just like,
burger is perfect.
it's just like, I gave you an extra patty and a little flag on the house, like the picture.
Now
And then
get
he
out
just
of here.
and then he just now please leave. You're disturbing our other customers.
Good for
And
him,
then he
actually.
turns and walks stiffly to the back of the shop. He's just like, I'm the king of McDonald's. Get out. And Bummy actually looks at him and is just like, wow,
She's like,
that's
aw,
amazing.
cool.
Um, and then the poor bastard goes home.
Oh man, this sucks.
This
'Cause-
sucks. Because yeah, he's just
No,
like,
why is he there?
they're gonna beat my ass tomorrow. And no, apparently what Wu has decided to do is impress upon him his services to avoid as a form of extortion. It's just like, we should have beat your ass about that today.
Yeah.
That's what I assume happened in between scenes.
You know, that makes so much more sense than what I thought, which was like, why is he here? So Wu is at his house.
Wu is at his house playing Counter-Strike. And he's chattering with his live stream viewers because he's starting his own channel. And he's just like, yeah, if I get to 30 kills, you guys give me 30 yen, 30,000 yen, right?
Right?
Like 1,000 for every kill. And
Yeah.
Hoban is making ramen in the kitchen. He's just like, I can't believe he fucking press ganged his way into my house. I'm so sorry, Mom. And now he's got me making fucking ramen for him, and he spits in it.
Yeah.
He's just like, I can't believe things have gone like this. My life is hell. And as he's carrying it, he's just thinking about how much of his life is hell. And he trips on a power cord.
The monitor shuts off.
The monitor shuts off right before
The ramen goes into his
before he gets his 30th kill, and then the ramen goes on his face. It's hot. It's so fucking hot. And he's just like, what are you gonna do about my money? You owe me that money. And you're why your mom got cancer. And there's no pot go here to save him from Hoban's animalistic anger. And he just starts he just starts whipping the shit out of him with a handful of kimchi.
Yeah, it's really
he executes
really
a really good uppercut. It's like really satisfying. And he's just like, this is the first time I've ever punched anybody. And he just smashes him in the jaw. But he's untrained, so it doesn't drop him. And then they start struggling. He's just whipping him with the kimchi. And Wu starts hitting him with the fucking pot.
It's really fun. It's really stupid looking. They
look
as stupid as two teenage boys doing this at home.
They're two teenage boys having a fight over fucking Halo 3 at home. After one of them threw the controller down and broke it,
This is the type of video that would go viral. Not to spoilers.
And yeah, as we pull out, we see more of the action, and we see the fact that the webcam is still on.
Yep.
And then
capturing everything.
Our next scene is Hoban in the dark in his home, and everything's fucked up. And he's just like, I can't believe I let this happen. This is gonna be even more money. It's like, fuck it, I'm going to sleep. And he like pulls the drapes down and wraps himself in the drapes.
He's like, oh no, the electricity bill, and he flips the the power strip off.
Because as he rolls over, he sees the power strip. A power strip is on, and he goes, the electricity bill. And he reaches out and he turns it off. And you see the computer and the webcam turn off. And then it's morning in the same scene. His phone is ringing, and he's just like, what? Oh, moshi moshi. And it's Wu. because he's just like, how dare you upload that? He's just like, what are you
Take it
talking about?
down.
Our whole fight over the ramen. It got live streamed. And he's like, what do you mean? That's not possible. And he looks over and he's just like, that cord went to the monitor,
The
not the
monitor only.
computer. Oh God. Oh God. It's just like, well, how could that happen? It's just like I shut it off. And it's just like, well, when the computer shuts off, it automatically uploads a live stream if it's still going. And he's just like, oh my God.
Oh.
And he checks his phone and he's just like, oh my fucking God. And it has like 10,000 views
Yeah, it's something
already.
crazy.
Um, he's just like, oh my fucking God, I can't believe this is happening. And he's sitting there and he sees some people chattering in the side chat. It's just like, wow, that's so many views so quickly. I bet you could make bank off of this. And he's just like,
Mm-hmm.
what are you talking about? And he looks and just like, yeah, I heard you can get zero point 0.1 yen per view. And he's like, 0.1 yen, huh? We multiply this by the current views. That's 1 million yen?
$1 million. His math seems wrong. I don't know.
I don't know. Listen. I know that it comes out to about $100,000
Yeah.
US. Actually, probably a little less now. But
Yeah. But still, it's
he's just like
significant.
that's fucking crazy. And we cut over to we cut over. Oh yeah, and Wu was trying to find his house and he couldn't remember where the fuck it was, and he's just sobbing.
Mm-hmm.
And we cut away from him because we cut to Wu, because Wu has gone to school, and
This
the
scene is
the
low-key so
kids
funny.
the kids at school are already seeing the video. They're seeing him get his ass whooped with some fucking kimchi.
They're
And
just like, look at this
they're
loser.
they're just like, holy shit. And he steps in and he's not even wearing his uniform. He's just wearing like a hoodie with,
Uh-huh.
and he's like, this is fucking bad. This is so fucking bad. And
Like, I have to
Paco
do
is there.
something.
And Paco fixes him with like the most sinister fucking look I've ever seen.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if we're going to see more of this character because he seems straight up evil. I've only
He's
seen that expression in Baki the Grappler.
their faces do some
He's got
real
killer
shit in this
intent.
show. It's
Um,
really scary.
and he's just like, oh shit, I got to reestablish myself. We're working on fucking prison rules now. He's just like, I know what I'll do. I'll put myself up a notch on the totem pole already. And he's walking by a very stereotypical nerd kid, a chunky kid with a bowl cut and some thick frame acrylic glasses. You can't even see his eyes. And he's just reading some manga. And he's just like, as he walks by, he just elbows him. And he's just like, whoops, loser. And the kid immediately gets up and socks him in the face.
I need you to know that in the dub, this nerd boy, as he is punching him, screams, "Witness me!"
Oh, that's the right reference? Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that. It works just as good as the sub reference because the sub reference is he's climbed fully on top of him and is just raining punches down on him like a fucking MMA fighter. And he's just going, "You are already dead."
Wait, that's so funny.
They both work
They
really well.
both work. Holy shit.
And I'm just like, oh, so this is my character. The quiet person capable of unspeakable violence.
Yeah.
Um,
Look out.
um, um, I say that I only got into like 2 fights in high school, but
I mean, listen, it's not none.
it's not none, but it's not like a track record of
I know.
glory like River City Ransom. Okay, I threw a guy into some trash bags once. um, but yeah, so yeah, he's at the bottom. His wings are clipped, and he knows it. He's just like the nerd kid just whooped the shit out of me.
He's like,
He
oh
just went,
god, I've
he
made it
just went
worse.
completely chimp mode on me. This made it worse.
I've made it
I've
worse.
elevated this kid. Now people aren't gonna bother him because they know you will go full Professor Chimp on them. um, I want to know this kid's story.
I know.
Is he aware of the social circumstances? Did he know he could fight back, or was there just simmering gorilla rage in him the whole time?
Any of these options are funny,
Um,
honestly.
so yeah, we cut back to Hoban because Hoban is going to visit his mom again, and as he's coming out of it, he hits the cash register, and the lady is just like, "That'll be 120,000 yen this time," and he's just like, 120,000 yen. And she's like, "That's right." And he's just like, "Oh God." Well, of course I can pay it. And he's got
He's like,
cash ready. He's just
the
like, because I got
shit-eating
$1 million
grin that
coming
he
in.
does, the stupid, shitty little grin that he does when he's like, "Do you take cold hard cash?"
he's he's shitty in a way I kind of like.
Yeah,
Because you
kind
kind
of.
of like to see the kicked dog
Yeah.
have its day.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
um, but yeah, after that, he ends up running into Wu again. Uh, and uh, and he's talking about like he's talking to himself about his money. He's just like, yeah, it's coming up. He's just like, I wonder if I can make some more money. I wonder how I can do that. And yeah, he gets socked in the side of the head by Wu
Uh-huh.
with one of Wu's characteristically weak punches.
Yeah, 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 yeah. This
Because
stupid
yeah,
little asshole.
Hoban like yeah, he like shuts one of his eyes for a second, and then he immediately cross counters because he's just like, I've already fought Wu. I'm not fucking
Like,
afraid of him anymore.
no, I will kill him.
It's just like I
And they
will
do
kill you.
they
And
do have just another little slap fight in the street.
they just fight in the street like dogs, which I appreciate.
It's quite funny.
In the way
No
that
one
people who
looks at
don't
them.
yeah, some people stop and look at them and then they just sort of leave
Yeah,
disgusted.
yeah, yeah. It's like, huh, guess that's happening.
I love an anime that is willing to commit to the indignity of two people who don't know how to fighting.
Yeah. Yes. It's
And
really
there's two
funny.
versions of this. Teenage boys fighting is kind of funny. I have also seen old men fight, and old men fight like they don't care if they're gonna die.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
fucking scary.
yeah.
um,
Oh,
it's the difference between like this and like like Saw. You know, it's
right.
like in a teenage boy fight, you're gonna see some guy get their face shoved into an armpit. In an
Uh-huh.
old man fight, they are steps away from trying to beat each other to death with the lid off of a fucking toilet. It's
Yes.
really bad.
Yes.
I saw this in the parking lot at a Walmart where they were
Oh
fighting over a
no.
handicap space.
Oh my God.
Um,
Wow.
it's rough. But
Wow.
yeah, they have their scuffle, and they're finally the next. They just cut to the next scene, and Tobin is sitting there, and he's got his hand on Wu's shoulder, and Wu is just sobbing.
He's like, I'm
he's
not
just
gonna
like,
apologize.
it's just like, no matter how much you cry, I'm not giving you any of my money.
Uh-huh.
But then Wool dries his like tears, and he comes up with his phone, and he's got an angle of them fighting on the phone. He's just like, what the hell? He's just like, yeah, I'm a great cameraman, even when I'm filming in secret. He's just like, I didn't come here to fight you today. I came
Yeah.
here to ask you to join me. And he holds out his hand and he's just like, I'll be your producer. We could make tons of money. I was Paxco's producer and I did great work for him. That's why he's so popular now. We can make tons of money. All I need from you is you to be on camera and I'll handle everything else. And it's just like, well, how will we split the money? It's just
Uh-huh.
like, well, I'll handle everything, so I'll be handling the money, and the split will be like 10-90. And
Yeah.
he puts out his hand, and Hoban goes to shake his hand, and he pulls away, and he just shoots in the bird, and he's like, "Fuck you, man!
He's like, no.
You think I'm stupid?" And he just turns around, and you can, and all of Wu's like schemes are just going up in smoke, and he's just like, "Oh fuck, okay, maybe 40-60. Maybe how about that? 70-30?
He's like,
Okay, okay, no,
come on,
okay,
no, I'll take the 10%.
okay, I'll take the 10%." And Hoban turns around and he's just like, "So what's this content you've got planned for?"
Like,
She's like, "Shit,
ah.
I thought he was stupid. He was he was just holding out." And he's just like, "Fine, we're gonna call out bullies live on stream." And that's the end.
And that's the episode. This
And yeah, it's just like, we're gonna get in fights on purpose. You've already proved that you don't care if you get punched. Which is true. That's a truism. Why most people won't willingly engage in fistfights is they are scared of being punched in the face. And let me tell you, it sucks to be punched in the face, but once you have been punched in the face, you are no longer afraid of it.
you're just like,
Be-
oh, I've gained an ability.
because you know what it is.
Uh-huh.
So, how do we like the vibe of this?
Honestly, this was funnier than I thought it was going to be.
These
There,
boys are nasty.
like, here's the thing: is there's a particular, I'm not really usually much into like, oh, it's high schoolers,
Mhm.
unless there's something going for the show about high schoolers. And
Yeah.
the thing that this has going for it is they're so pathetic and shitty in like kind of an endearing way.
They're so grimy. The whole everybody being YouTubers and just being like unvarnishedly like unpleasant YouTubers.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, like the boys being so pathetic and grimy, and they can't fight, but they do fight. And only one of them has a skill, and
Uh-huh.
he's a pretty good cameraman. One
Yeah.
just lacks fear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
been grounded down to where he doesn't fear anything.
yeah.
Um, I liked the animation was good. The animation of this was good. Uh, Not tight fight choreography, but the occasional just like thunderous punch.
Mhm.
Like whenever he got off the first uppercut on Wu, the first punch he ever
Mhm.
threw, and he just slammed it into the bottom of his jaw.
Yeah.
That was exciting. That was sort of electrifying. Uh,
Yeah. Um,
Especially as the lead into one of the funniest anime fist fights I've ever seen.
yeah, I actually thought like the animation like in general was like okay. I feel like there were some so-so moments. I don't know.
It is it the animation that's so or the character design? Because
It
some of
might
these
be the
characters
character
are
design.
a little ugly, to
Yeah,
be
it might be the
honest.
design. Um, like this when you're watching this, it feels a little budget,
Mm.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But like it's not in to a degree that it's like, "Oh, I hate looking at this." Um,
It's to a degree that's like, oh, I if I don't look at the characters, there's nothing to look at in the background.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
kind of. Yeah, that's
the
true.
backgrounds are incidental. They're like visual novel backgrounds.
I think was this adapted from like a web comic or
I feel this feels like it could have been adapted from a webtoon.
I think it might have been. Um
Um, if so, it's the I like it better than Solo Leveling, which is also adapted from a webtoon. Uh,
um
I think it has something going on because it's so fucking grimy.
yeah. What else? What other jokes made me laugh? That there were definitely parts that I laughed at. The
Mhm.
the fucking where he kicks him in the nuts and there's just an egg
Oh yeah,
cracking on screen.
yeah, they just an egg, just one egg just cracking and
One
running
egg.
out of the shell.
That made me laugh. I laughed at the burger scene. I laughed at the uh what else? There were definitely a couple of parts that I was just like, huh.
Yeah.
Um,
So would you watch some more of it?
you know, I honestly I would consider watching more of it. This is like fun like popcorn anime, I think to me.
This ran for 12 episodes
Yeah, it's not too
this year.
long. I
Is it?
I could
Oh, it's a manhwa.
It
I'm seeing
was.
on here.
Okay. All right,
So
all
yeah,
right,
this
all
is a
right. That
Korean
tracks.
origin.
Yes, yes. Um yeah, I could see myself throwing an episode of this on incident. I'm not gonna like probably rush out to watch it, but
Yeah, yeah. If I can turn my cringe inhibitors back on. Um,
based on the clip at the end, it looks like they're gonna recruit the girl from the burger restaurant as well.
Maybe, maybe.
Just
I
looked like
know
they
that's
were all
the clip
working
where
together.
he finds his sensei, the chicken man.
Mm-hmm. The
Um,
oh, we didn't even talk about the intro music. The intro music was kind of catchy.
I hated it.
Oh, you hated it,
I
huh?
didn't like the intro at all. It was
Oh,
boring.
you don't usually like those, do you? The
No.
kind of like, oh, how'd you even describe it? Like,
There was nothing interesting going on with the visuals, and it was just sort of a generic sort of hip hop
yeah, it was hip
thing,
hoppy.
as if
The
like
music itself was a little catchy. I do agree with you that the animation was like kind of nothing sauce.
nothing was happening.
Mm.
But anyway, if you'd like to get in an embarrassing slap fight with us, you can do so at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is one the word, not the number. You can if we can't arrange an in-person battle, you know, we could have a Twitter fight. We're at one episode cast. We are also on Blue Sky, same handle, I believe.
Trust me, you want to take the blue sky
Take
fight.
the
You
choose
did not want to take the parking lot fight with me.
choose Blue Sky.
It has been so long. I hunger for blood.
He will pummel you into a small pancake in the earth. I
I don't know why I just remembered that thing from that bit from Warframe where Rigor is just like, I'm going to pound you into a tiny cube. Um, I'll do that to you.
yeah.
Come,
So watch out.
come to the Wendy's if you want to be pounded
Mm.
into a tiny cube.